Hello, learners, welcome back to English Hub. And today I am here with the explanation of the poem Canvas of Soil by Maya Anthony. So, before beginning the explanation of the poem, let me first tell you a little bit about Maya Anthony. She is a contemporary poet whose verses beautifully merges the worlds of art and nature. In Canvas of Soil, she presents gardening not as mere work but as a creative act of painting with the earth. Her simple yet vivid language turns everyday gardening into a celebration of color, growth, and timeless beauty, reminding readers that nature is the greatest artist of all. The poem Canvas of Soil shows how a garden is like a beautiful painting. The poet compares soil to a canvas and seeds to brushstroke. Gardeners are shown as artists who carefully plant seed and wait for them to grow. When spring comes, the garden becomes full of colorful flowers and greenery, just like a painting full of life. This poem also tells us that gardening is not just work, but a creative activity. Now let us see the stanza by stanza explanation of the poem. In the first stanza, poet describes the soil as a palette of earth, comparing it to a painter's board full of colors and possibilities. The poet compares a painter sitting with his color palette, and he says that the soil of garden is just like the palette, full of colors, full of possibilities. Just as the painter mixes colors on the palette, gardener mixes their hopes and dreams into the soil. The seeds are compared to brushstrokes, carefully planted with care and purpose. The gardener plants seeds just like a painter's make brushstrokes on a canvas. And those seeds sleep quietly in the soil. They do not bloom immediately, but we have to wait patiently for spring. And when they will turn into bright and lively colors. Those seeds sleep quietly in the soil and wait for the spring. But when the spring arrives, the garden is full of colors, lively. And this stanza highlights the beginning of creation where effort and patience are essential for beauty to merge. The first stanza is completely about the soil as a painter's palette. Moving on towards the second stanza, and here we learn about the garden is full bloom. Flowers bloom beautifully, creating a scene that looks like a painted picture. As now it's a springtime and all the seeds which were planted have grown into beautiful flowers. They have bloomed up now. The garden looked exactly like a colorful painting. The blossom, the blooming flowers, scenes dance in the gentle morning sunlight, adding life and movement to nature's artwork. So that's not just a colorful painting, but it's a lively nature's artwork. Different shades of green, red, blue symbolizes the variety and richness found in nature. A whole rainbow colors are there that can be seen in the garden. These colors form a natural artwork that keeps changing and renewing itself. So the nature creates its own artwork that is always fresh and new. So this was the explanation of stanza 2. Now moving towards the stanza 3, and it is completely about every garden is a lively canvas. Every garden is different. The poet compares each garden pot to a white canvas where art and life come together. Every garden, big or small, is like a wide painting canvas. Just like a painter uses canvas to create art, gardener uses land to grow plants and flowers. And it's the art of gardener. Gardener is also an artist. Their hard work and care turn ordinary soil into something beautiful and meaningful. Through hard work, love, patience, he turns a plain piece of land into a living, breathing work of art. Gardener don't just look like painting for a moment, but they remain beautiful. Gardens don't just look like painting for a moment. They are the physical work. The stanza emphasizes that gardening is not just a physical work, but also creative process. Gardening is not just a kind of a like a painting for a moment, but they remain beautiful and still life painting that never lose their charm. In hands of gardener, garden becomes living painting that continues to grow, remain beautiful over time. So this was the whole explanation of the poem. Now coming towards the central theme. And the central idea of the poem is that gardening is full of art. The poet compares the work of a gardener to that of a painter, showing how both create beauty using their skills and imagination. The soil is described as a canvas, while seeds are compared to brush strokes. Through this comparison, the poem highlights everybody. Activities like gardening can also be creative and artistic. It encourages readers to see art in nature and in simple, meaningful tasks. Now let us see the comparison in the poem. A painter is compared to a gardener because both create something beautiful with care, skill, and imagination. A palette is like earth as it holds different colors just like the earth holds different plant and flowers. And the brush strokes are like the seeds. Both are starting point of creation and later grow into something beautiful. A canvas is similar to a garden as both are spaces where creativity is expressed and transformed into artwork. Now, what is the role of spring in the poem? Season, especially spring, plays an important role in this poem. After seeds are planted, they wait patiently. They wait patiently for the spring season, which brings warmth and life. As in spring season, we see that everywhere is greenery, garden is full of flowers, many flowers bloom in the spring season. So, it is during this season that seeds begin to grow and bloom into flower. Spring represents renewal, growth, and fulfillment of the gardener's effort. It highlights the idea that patience and time are essential for creating something beautiful in nature. Now let us see the literary devices or poetic devices related with this poem. Here we can see metaphor. The entire poem is built on metaphors. The earth as palette, seeds as brushstroke, plot as canvas, garden as painting. So these are the different metaphors used by the poet. Imagery can be seen, the vivid picture of colors, red, blue, green, blossoms dancing, morning light, and rich soil appeals to the reader's side. Personification, blossoms are shown dancing in the morning light, as if they are alive and celebrating. Here, the human qualities are given to blossoms, to flowers. Double meaning in still, the line garden becomes painting still carries two meaning. First, that the garden even today continue to resemble painting. Still here means even now. And the second, that the gardens are like still, life painting, perfectly composed, emotionless, and beautiful at any given moment. Now let us see some of the important word meanings. Canvas, a flat surface on which a painter paints. Here, earth is also canvas, as soil holds the plant, flower, and fruit. Palette, a board on which a painter mixes color. Brush strokes, marks made by a painter, brush. Hue, a shade or variety of colors. Blossoms, flowers, especially those on trees or plants. Vibrant, bright, and full of energy. Still life, a painting of non-moving objects like fruits or flowers. Coincides, to happen or exist at same time, to come together. Seep, to slowly pass or flow into something. The key message of the poem is that the poem encourages readers, especially students, to recognize that art is not limited to painting or galleries. Instead, art can be found in everyday activities like gardening, where nature and human efforts combine to create beauty. Art is everywhere around us, even in the simple act of planting seed. All you need is patience, care, and the eyes to see beauty in everyday life. A garden in nature's painting, the soil in the canvas, the seeds are the brushstrokes, the gardener is the artist, and the blooming flowers are the finished masterpiece. So, this was the whole poem. I believe it is easy and simple now for you to understand it. I hope now the poem is clear to everyone, and if you still have any doubts, remember to write it in the comment box. I will try to clear your doubts. Remember to like, share and subscribe the channel English Hub. See you in the next video. Take care.